Alarms were ringing, fridges were screaming, and one sleepy man was about to face the wildest Monday of his life. The Alarm Clock War. Tom's Battle with Waking Up. Part 1. Meet Tom, the King of Snooze. Tom Benson was 28 years old. He lived alone in a small apartment in the middle of the city. He liked books, hot pizza, and playing video games at night. But there was one thing he loved even more than all that: sleeping. Tom could sleep anywhere, anytime. On the couch, at his desk, even during boring meetings. He was not lazy about everything. He did his work well when he reached the office. But waking up early, that was his worst enemy. Every morning, Tom's alarm rang at 6:30 a.m. He opened one eye, hit the snooze button, and smiled like a sleepy cat. "Just 5 more minutes," he whispered. But those 5 minutes became 50. When he finally woke up, he ran around the house like a cartoon character, half-dressed, teeth half-brushed, and breakfast forgotten. Part 2. Deadline versus Snooze Button. Tom worked as a file manager at a small company called Bright World Insurance. His job was not very exciting, but it paid the rent. His boss, Mr. Grant, was a serious man. He wore black suits, black shoes, and had a black mustache. He was strict, but not unfair. Every time Tom came late, Mr. Grant looked at his shiny silver watch and said, "Tom, one more late entry, and you're out." Tom always had a creative excuse. "I'm sorry, sir. The bus was late, or my phone battery died, or my cat stepped on the alarm." But truthfully, Tom didn't even have a cat. Part 3. The Morning That Broke Time. One Friday morning, Tom opened his eyes and saw light coming through his window. That was a bad sign. The room was too bright. He looked at the clock. It was 9:15 a.m. "No!" Tom screamed. He quickly wore his pants the wrong way around, brushed his teeth with shaving foam, and put 2 different shoes on his feet. He ran to the bus, dropped his phone on the road, picked it up, and missed the bus. By the time he reached the office, it was 9:45 a.m. Mr. Grant was standing at the door like a statue. He didn't speak. He just pointed one finger at his watch. Tom gave a weak smile. "Sorry, sir." This time it was my neighbor's cow. She blocked my door. Mr. Grant took a deep breath. "Tom, Monday. On time. Or you're fired. No jokes. No cats. No cows." Tom nodded seriously. "Yes, sir. I will reach before you on Monday. I swear." Part 4. Operation Wake Up begins. That weekend, Tom sat in his living room and thought hard. "I need a new alarm. No, I need many alarms." He ran to the nearest electronics store and bought 5 different alarm clocks, all loud, all ugly, and all super cheap. He brought them home like trophies. He also set his phone alarm, with the loudest siren sound available. Then he placed his new alarm army around his house. One on the bedside table, one under the bed, one in the bathroom sink, one behind the coffee jar in the kitchen, one inside the fridge, and his phone, locked with a math puzzle. He checked all of them twice, then 3 times. He was ready. "This time," Tom said, standing proudly like a general, "even if I die in my sleep, I will still wake up." Part 5. Alarmageddon starts now. Exactly at 6 a.m., The war began. Beep, beep, ring, ring. Wake you up. His room turned into a disaster zone. The alarm in the fridge sounded like a robot in pain. The bathroom one bounced into the toilet. The one under the bed shook like a mini earthquake. Tom sat up, hit his head on the wall, fell off the bed, and landed on the floor with a loud ow. "Why is my fridge screaming?" he shouted, confused. He ran around the house, trying to stop them all. In his panic, he stepped on one alarm, kicked another into the sink, and couldn't remember the math answer for the phone alarm. In the chaos, he brushed his teeth with cold milk and put coffee powder in his socks instead of his mug. Part 6. When alarms call the cops. Meanwhile, his downstairs neighbor, Mrs. Lily, a sweet 70-year-old lady, was making tea. She heard the crazy noise from upstairs. Goodness! Is he fighting burglars, robots, or ghosts? She called the police. 10 minutes later, there was a loud knock on Tom's door. Tom opened it slowly. He was wearing a towel, one slipper, one shoe, and had toothpaste on his ear. 2 officers stared at him. "Sir, is everything okay?" Tom blinked. "Yes, officer. I was just, getting ready for work." They looked inside and saw alarms, wet socks, and coffee on the floor. One officer laughed. "Looks like your alarms are working too well." Part 7. The Sleepy Warrior at War. That day, Tom reached the office at 7:45 a.m., a full hour early. He was the first one there. Even the security guard was surprised. Tom sat at his desk proudly. Hair combed, shirt clean, tie straight. Mr. Grant arrived at 8:50 and stopped. He looked at Tom. "You okay, Tom?" "Never better, sir. I love mornings now," Tom said like a soldier reporting for duty. But the day didn't go as planned. In fact, it went comically wrong. Tom was not just sleepy. He was zombie-level sleepy. Like, mistake your cat for a hat kind of sleepy. First disaster. Tom walked straight into the office's glass door. Twice. The door survived. Tom's ego, not so much. Second disaster. Lunchtime. Tom, confident and dazed, grabbed a fork and tried to eat tomato soup. Colleagues watched in horror as red soup flew around like fireworks. One spoon finally yelled from the drawer, "Use me, you sleepy fool." Third disaster. While preparing a presentation, Tom tried to clip his papers, using a stapler. Except, instead of the paper, he almost stapled his tie. He paused, looked at the tie, whispered, "I know you tried to strangle me last week, but this is not revenge." Fourth disaster. Tom reached for a stamp to approve a file. Except he didn't grab the stamp. He grabbed a boiled potato from his lunchbox and pressed it firmly onto the document. Now the office had a file with an official mashed potato seal of approval. At exactly 4 p.m., Tom sat down for just a second. On a pile of files. 15 minutes later, he was still there, fast asleep, snoring like a lawnmower. Nobody noticed. Except one person. Or rather, one potato. It stared at him silently from the lunchbox, probably judging all his life decisions. Part 8. The Clock That Flew. That night, Tom went to bed early, like a good boy. But he forgot to change the alarm settings. At 6 a.m., once again, the battlefield began. Tom woke up screaming and, in anger, grabbed one alarm and threw it out of the window. It hit Mrs. Lily's cat. Later that day, he found a note at his door. "Dear Mr. Benson, please control your clocks. My cat is traumatized. Mrs. Lily." Part 9. From Chaos to Calm. Tom finally realized the truth. Yes, the alarm army worked, but it also destroyed his peace, and almost his neighbor's cat. So he made a better plan. He kept just one alarm, his phone, and placed it far from the bed, near the door. That way, when it rang, he had to get up and walk to stop it. He also changed his lifestyle. No more mobile till 2 a.m., no more junk food at midnight, warm milk before bed, a fixed bedtime at 10:30 p.m. And slowly, Tom became a morning person. Part 10. The Rise of the Morning Man. Weeks passed. Tom was never late again. He reached office on time, sometimes before Mr. Grant. He joined a morning gym. His skin looked better. His mood improved. His socks finally smelled like socks, not coffee. Even Mrs. Lily forgave him and gifted him a tiny silent clock. "Just a memory," she said with a smile. "Let the cat sleep in peace too." Moral of the story: you don't need an army of alarms to wake up. You need discipline, better sleep, and a little smart thinking. And maybe, just maybe, don't keep alarms in your fridge.